Andariki namaste. So hello everyone. In this video we are going to understand scheme and syllabus for recruitment to the post of deputy educational officers, gazetted headmaster grade 1 in school education department. So let's see now scheme of examination. So examination ఎలా ఉండబోతుంది ఈ యొక్క పోస్ట్కి. So written examination which consists of only objective type of questions. In that two papers are there. Okay, what are they? Paper 1 and paper 2. So paper 1 150 questions, 150 marks, 150 minutes. Okay, that is paper 1 general studies and general abilities. Now next paper 2, if you see, so paper 2 total marks 150 plus 150. So how many marks? 300 marks. Now if you see paper 2 part A and part B. So part A basic foundations of education, part B educational leadership, administration and management. So from part A we are going to get 75 questions and each question carries 2 marks. ఒక్క క్వశ్చన్కి 2 మార్కులు అంటే 75 క్వశ్చన్లు 150 మార్కులు. నెక్స్ట్ పార్ట్ బి, దట్ ఈస్ ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ లీడర్షిప్, అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ అండ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్. 75 questions, so 75 questions, each question carries 2 marks. Again this is also 150, that means 150 plus 150, 300 marks for paper 2. So this 300 and this 150, total how much? 450 marks. Okay, yeah. Now this name of the papers, as we know, paper 1 general studies and general abilities, paper 2, so under this paper 2 part A is there, part B is there, basic foundations of education, educational leadership and administration and management. So it is going to come under as a bilingual English and Telugu. Okay, this general studies, general studies and general abilities. So you have syllabus like this, total 15 points they have given. So under this 15 points you can check one by one. So now here in this video we are going to, okay, I am going to explain and what is there in under this paper 2. Okay, yeah. So paper 2, as I said, it consists of 2 parts, part A and part B. What is part A? Basic foundations of education. So basic foundations of education, under this paper part A we have total 7 chapters. Total 7 chapters. You can see there chapters here. So you can see the chapters. You can divide it as a chapters only, better, so that you can cover the syllabus. So now what is this first chapter is saying? Education and Indian Constitution. So what preamble is saying and its educational philosophy. What is the philosophy of our preamble of Constitution? Freedom, democracy and right to education, right to education act, national and state educational policies in independent India. So and recommendations of various educational commissions. So after independence, so how many educational commissions were what is that is called నియమించబడినాయి, ఎన్ని ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ కమిషన్స్ నియమించబడ్డాయి. సో వాటి యొక్క రికమెండేషన్స్ ఏంటి, ఏమేమి చెప్తున్నాయి, ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అంటే ఏ విధంగా ఉండాలి, స్కూల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఏ విధంగా ఉండాలి, స్కూల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్లో ఏమేమి నేర్చుకోవాలి. ఓకే, సో అండ్ తర్వాత స్కూల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అయిపోయాక ఇంటర్మీడియట్ ఏ విధంగా ఉండాలి, డిగ్రీ ఏ విధంగా ఉండాలి, ఏ కమిషన్ ఏ రికమెండేషన్స్ చేసిందో. సో దట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు స్టడీ అండర్ రికమెండేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ వేరియస్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ కమిషన్స్ అండ్ కమిటీస్. ఎన్ని కమిటీస్ ఫామ్ అయినాయి. Okay, and national curriculum frameworks. So NCFs, how many NCFs have come? Okay, what are their recommendations? అవి ఏం చెప్తున్నాయి అనేది మనం in చాప్టర్ 1లో చదవాలి. సో నెక్స్ట్ చాప్టర్ 2, education in ancient Indian knowledge systems. That means education in colonial period and post colonial India. సో colonial India and post colonial India ఎట్లా ఏ విధంగా ఉండే. నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ ఆర్ ద ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ ఇంప్లికేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ వేదాంత ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్, బుద్ధిజం ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్, జైనిజం ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్, ఇస్లామిక్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్ and Christianity. Okay, so under this chapter 2 we are going to understand. Now chapter 3 we have two parts. What are they? Epistemological foundations and philosophical foundations of education. So epistemological foundations of education, what is mind, reason, logic and thinking in children, scientific and religious knowledge and experience, intellectual developments during Renaissance and enlightenment in Europe, and critique on Eurocentric colonial models of thinking in education. Okay, this is very much important. Most probably, you have to depend on very good books to understand very well about this Eurocentric colonial models of thinking in education. So next, philosophical foundation. So what is the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda related to education, and Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, Sri Aurobindo, G.D. Krishnamurti, Jyotirao Phule, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, John Dewey and Paulo Freire. Okay, education and values, ethical, moral and spiritual foundations of education. What are art? Under this art, music, aesthetic in education, liberal education. So chapter 3, epistemological foundations of education, philosophical foundations of education. So our Indian philosophers, what are they saying? Okay, what J.D. Krishnamurti is saying, what Sri Aurobindo is saying, according to Rabindranath Tagore, what is education, how education must be, according to Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Jyotirao Phule. These all, we are going to study under chapter 3. So now here, chapter 4, sociological foundation, culture. What is culture? Socialization, modernity and education, equality, equity, diversity, liberalization, privatization in education, public policy in education, teachers autonomy and teachers accountability, teachers responsibility, sustainable development and environmental education, basics in economics of education and educational finance. So these are the things you are going to study under chapter 4. So chapter 5, so understanding children, their cultural individual differences. సో ఒక పిల్లవాడు యొక్క కరెక్ట్గా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి అంటే స్కూల్కి వచ్చిన తరగతి గదిలోకి వచ్చిన పిల్లవాడు స్కూల్కి వచ్చిన పిల్లవాడిని సో చాలా అర్థం చేసుకునడానికే కావాల్సినటువంటి నాలెడ్జ్ మనం ఖచ్చితంగా ఉండాలి. సో ఈ రిక్రూట్మెంట్కి సంబంధించి ఖచ్చితంగా ఇది సైకలాజికల్ ఫౌండేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ వస్తుంది. సో గ్రోత్ అండ్ డెవలప్మెంట్, ఇన్ఫాన్సీ టు ఓల్డ్ ఏజ్, సైకాలజీ ఆఫ్ హ్యూమన్ డెవలప్మెంట్, child development, in that sociological development, cognitive development, linguistic development, emotional development, moral and aesthetic areas, what is motivation, learning and development, what is personality, understanding of self, what is memory, what is cognition, creativity and intelligence. Okay, educating and addressing the needs of exceptional children. So who are exceptional children? Okay, and who are children with disabilities, including sensory, physical, social and emotional and mental challenges. Okay, this kind of children, about these kind of children you are going to study here. And what are the principles and styles of guidance and counseling and mentoring, and same guidance and counseling and mentoring here we are also going to get in this. So principle and styles of guidance, counseling and mentoring. Okay, here also we are having the same topic. So but here pedagogy, and with respect to pedagogical process, here with respect to understanding children. Okay, very much important. So here the same guidance and counseling and mentoring, here it is there and here also is there. What are the principles and styles of guidance, counseling and mentoring? Okay, here also same principles and styles of guidance and counseling and mentoring, but here with respect to understanding children, here with respect to pedagogical processes. Okay, and here under this pedagogical process, what are the teaching learning methods and innovative practices in education, disciplines of knowledge, curriculum processes and how the curriculum is organized. Okay, organization of knowledge, skill development, vocational education, measurement, assessment and evaluation in education. What are the types of evaluation, what is the need for evaluation, why we have to evaluate, and assessment of children and teachers performance also, and evaluation of quality in education. So logical and statistical reasoning in educational research. So in this educational research also we are going to understand. So critical thinking and creative imagination in children also we have to study, and application of ICT, information communication technology, artificial intelligence and digital technologies in education. So these are all the things you have to study under chapter 6. What is chapter 7? So mother tongue, multilingualism and language policy. What language policy is saying, and adult education. So non-formal and lifelong education. For this, whatever the theories we have, and what is the role of media and communication. So media communication in education, health, yoga and physical education, education for national integration and international understanding. So these are the things we are going to study under what is the paper? Basic foundations of education. So this is under paper 2 part A. Okay, yeah.